your shins and grab that blanket again. I'm gonna kind of retighten my blanket and grab the ends of the blanket and really kind of wrap the blanket around your stomach and pull it right into your guts. And keep that and lift your heart really broadly up. So you lift up and over the blanket. If it feels too thick, just unravel it a little bit. And then take your forearms onto the ground and let your head hang towards the floor. If it's at all too intense, pretty please just take the blanket and unroll it a small amount. Make it so it fits you, it works for you. Much more substantial than the one in a prone position on our stomachs. So ease into it. Move around from left to right if you want to. And try to breathe into your stomach. Okay, slowly come on up. Take your hands on the floor. Hope that went okay for you. Take the blanket out in front of you and take your knees onto the blanket. And then just before you sit down, clip your heels together as best you can. Try and keep your heels touching and sit back down onto your feet. So it gets a pretty substantial stretch on the front of your ankles. And again, you can move from side to side like you've been doing. Okay, so we're going to take the blanket actually behind our knees. So you'll take it off to the side, re-roll it if you need to. Take it off to the side and come into a tabletop. Walk your knees back a little bit. Take your head onto the ground for a moment and then reach for the blanket and take it back behind your knees and try to really stuff it behind your kneecaps as best you can. Really hug it in there. Keep it in the back of the knees and slowly sit back down into towards your heels. You can be on your fingertips, you can be on your palms, you can absolutely lean forward as much as you need to. And again, start to rock back and forth, left and right. Massage your calves. Maybe you can come onto your fingers if you're on your hands. Maybe you can take your hands on your thighs. Shouldn't be painful. Should be like maybe intense, but not painful. No sharp pain. No pain in your knees. Maybe do a little bounce as you move your butt from side to side. I feel it so much more on my right calf where I have so much more tightness. And then we'll come onto our fingertips. Lean forward just a little bit so you can tuck your toes onto the ground. And you'll go between being on the bottoms of your feet. So you're going to have to walk your fingers back or let them slide back. And then being on your knees again. So find that place where you can move back and forth freely. Maybe you stop in the kind of squat position for a little bit, marinate in it, move from side to side. Maybe you like this forward position for more on your knees. You can totally pick and choose what you do. Let's do that transition or stay still just for a few more seconds. And then the next time that you come into the squat and just stay there and grab the sides of the blanket and lift your bum up and take the blanket out in front of you now, in front of your toes, and step your toes on the blanket, the fronts of the feet. It's more than the toes, the toe mounds. And take your fingertips tips on the ground, push into your toes, into your toe mounds, and lift your heels up and down. And just notice what your ankles do. Maybe they kind of sickle out to the side, they invert, they evert. Try to really press through the big toes and the baby toes quite evenly. This is a really good way to do calf work because we start in a stretched out position, and then from the stretched out position, we contract the tissues and go all the way up into more of a concentric contraction. So really lift the heels up as high as they go, and do let the heels go all the way down to the floor if that feels okay in your body. Up and down. Calf raises. And then keep your heels on the floor and walk your fingers forward like you're going to go towards down dog, but you probably won't. You'll feel the stretch increase on the back of your legs. Feel what it is to lift the